In this video, we're going to walk you through our forward fold exercise. So let's get into our forward fold. We're going to start in a standing position. Jamison is going to demonstrate our forward fold through us. And I'm going to cue you into that forward fold, so join us along. We're going to start in our standing position with our feet pointing straight ahead underneath our hips. Let's root our feet into the ground, finding that outside pressure, that outside cuboid bone, pressing through each one of your toes and the knuckles on the bottom of your feet. Then let's pull our hips back into an athletic position, press our hips wide and our thighs wide, activating our glutes like we know. If you cannot find your glutes, this is where you will need to use a band to access this forward fold position, because in this forward fold, we need to have our glutes and the backside of our legs active the entire time. Once you have your glutes, your hamstrings, and your feet firmly rooted into the ground, then we're going to continue pushing our hips back, allowing our spine to round, our head to dive forward, reaching our hands for the floor. Notice how Jamison has full access to the forward fold with his palms on the floor. If you cannot reach this position, this is where I want you to use a yoga block or a support so that you can put your hands on something, because we want to start to actively press our hands, especially the outsides of our hands and our shoulders, into the floor. Make sure while you're listening, feel free to listen to my voice right now. You can always watch later for more instruction. I want the back of your neck to be very long, so let your head dangle, relax, like someone's pulling your ears to the floor, the space in between your hands. Then we're going to continue to activate and press the outsides of our feet, our cuboid bones, and our knuckles underneath our toes into the floor very strongly. With our thighs, we're going to be rolling our thighs gently in to the backspace, letting our knees come in. You notice that Jamison's got some nice shakes going on, so if you're shaking right now, just remember that's normal, that's okay, and we're doing some really good work. We should feel activation on the lateral side of our legs, the hamstrings, and especially in the glutes. Our low back should feel relaxed, comfortable, and safe in this position. Now that we have our pressure, our pushing with our shoulders, our active in the glutes and the hamstrings, we're going to focus on active decompression breathing. So come around to the side and we're going to take a look at Jamison's ribs and his stomach. Jamison's going to take an inhale. He's going to actively try to inhale and inflate the back of his ribs as much as he can. And then he's going to exhale through his mouth, and then we're going to exhale completely until all of the air in our stomach is out. You'll see the ribs collapse, and then you'll start to see his abs, his muscles turn on in the front side until everything is very turned on, collapsed like we're shrinking outside of a balloon. He's going to hold on to this core tension and then breathe into the back of his ribs, and then exhale everything out of his stomach like he's exhaling all of the air out, collapsing his structure. Notice that compression. That's what we want. Hold on to that compression, that core activation, and then breathing into the upper neck. The shoulders expanding through the spine. And we'll do one last exhale so that we can see everything coming out. He's exhaling everything. Exhale, 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 and then holding on to that muscular tension that he got through the exhale. Nice. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to alternate our hips. So Jamison is going to walk his hands to the left, his chest to the left, and he's going to push his hips to the right. We're going to be in this forward fold position, but now we're giving our right hip a lot of attention, love, and care in this strengthening and this lengthening that we're doing. So he's lengthening through the back of his right neck, lengthening through his right rib cage, pressing his hips to the right, and really strongly, let's press the outside of our right foot into the ground. Let's press the outside right calf, the outside right hamstring, and if we're doing this correctly, as we push the hips to the right, we'll have a little bit more space to roll everything a little bit in as we press, 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 press. If you got shakes, that's really good. Let's do 2 decompression breaths in this right hip. Let's take a big inhale into the right rib cage, and then a full exhale so everything comes down and the core compresses. We'll breathe in again to lengthen the spine, reaching for the floor as we pull our hips back into the sky. Last final exhale. And then we'll slowly make our way to the other hip. Walk your hands gently to the right. Push your hips to the left. Let's find a lot of pressure and activation in the outside left of our hip. We're going to lengthen the back of our neck towards the floor. Reach our left shoulder and left rib cage to the right as we push our hip. Activate and press through the outside of your left foot. Let's take a big inhale into the back of our shoulders. Big exhale to press through that left foot, press through that left hip. Last time, let's take a big inhale to the back of our shoulders. Exhale everything out of your stomach until your ribs come down and you feel your core engage. Awesome. We're now going to come out of this forward fold, and coming out of it is just as important as the work that we did. So keep your glutes activated. Find your hamstrings, the pressing of your feet into the floor. And we're going to keep our neck extremely long, our shoulders and our hands relaxed. The way that you're going to come up is by pulling your tailbone down, activating your glutes and your hamstrings, keeping the back of your neck long, your shoulders and your hands relaxed. So let's slowly zombie or curl ourselves up, 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 using our hips to pull down, our hips to pull down, our hips to pull down. And notice this nice noodling, slow ascend up where we're stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae on top of vertebrae until we reach our full standing position. This is your forward fold exercise. Great job.